Here's Brody Brazil.
Okay, you clicked on it, so let's just get right into it. I'm here to ask you for some help with this upcoming football season. Not that football season. Yeah, that soccer season. Look at your boy, by the way. Back in the day, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s, it doesn't matter. The mullet tells the entire story. Yes, that's me officially with that haircut. That just kind of fits everything going on right there in the photo. But anyway, back to the story. Soccer, proper football, whatever you want to call it, that's what I'm interested in really getting into with this upcoming season. And I've got to spell a few things out here and eventually explain why I kind of need your help. First thing you need to know is I'm simply looking to add something new to what I watch sports-wise. I'm trying to diversify my sports viewing portfolio. And not to say that baseball or hockey or football or basketball get old or stale, but I'm just trying to broaden my horizons. Now, I've watched, obviously, soccer/football for many years, but just spotty here and there, never on any sustained level. I'm really looking to pick a team, follow a club for an entire season, and have that journey. But here's the problem. I've been saying this for years, if not decades, if not more like probably 15 years now. Every late summer, and those European teams, they cross the pond, they play friendlies against some of the MLS clubs, and I get all interested and excited. I've been to some of those matches. And I say, you know what? When they go back out to Europe and when they're in the Premier League, I'm going to follow them this season. I'm going to learn all their players, the backstories, trade windows, all that stuff, relegation, things that aren't exactly familiar to me inherently, but I'm going to learn it all. And that's my next point here. I kind of want to get a little bit uncomfortable learning something new. Because yeah, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, I know how those things go. Here in North America, they're old hat. I'm 40 plus years in the books of learning, watching, paying attention to, and understanding those. But like European soccer, for example, it's not exactly my forte. So I want to learn something new, enjoy something new. I want to get a little uncomfortable, like not knowing everything and not really having an instant take on everything because it's a little bit more new to me. I want to give this a full season follow. One club, one league, start to finish. And again, I've been saying it's this time of year, every single year. And for a lot of reasons, I just can't hold up to it. And I'll explain why I can't in just a second. Like, that's on the way. But first, this should be easy. Like, literally, it should be easier than ever to follow a European soccer club. There's so many ways and places to watch. I mean, even 10 years ago, heck, 20 years ago, definitely you couldn't watch these matches live. Nowadays, with the internet, special packages, my company, NBC Sports, does a phenomenal job in offering, like, for example, the Premier League and so many different matchups and ways to watch and platforms to watch on. So I've got no excuse there. I've also got no excuse in following a club throughout a season. There's news and information so easily found here in 2023. I mean, in fact, if you can follow an NFL team, you can follow a Premier League team. It shouldn't be that difficult. Social media platforms, news outlets, interviews, and right here on YouTube, quite honestly. And you don't even really have to watch live. Like back in the day, again, I'm thinking, hey, 90s here, when there were no DVRs or there was no way to rewind things on the internet. It wasn't all on demand. If you missed it, right, because of the time shift, if you were not up super early on the weekends, California time, you would miss those matches if they were even on television. And the time challenge is probably one of the biggest things and deals here. We in California are about 8 to 9 hours behind most of Europe. And that means for afternoon and evening matches over there, it is super early here on a Saturday or Sunday morning. And matches usually beginning at 4 to 5 a.m. local time, at least if I were out east, right, on the East Coast. And I generally wake up 7 o'clock on the dot, 7:05 actually, don't tell my wife, 7:05 pretty much every day. I mean, if that were the case and these matches started at 7 and I was out east, things might be a lot easier. But because of the 4 and 5 a.m. local start times, it is very difficult for yours truly to actually get up and make the commitment, make the effort to do this. Because I've got to be honest, like throughout the course of like the Premier League season, you know, it coincides with the hockey season. And a lot of times I'm up super late on a Friday night, which has me really wanting to sleep every possible minute I can into Saturday morning, or a lot of Saturday night games, which has me slow to get up and a little bit groggy on Sunday mornings. Not to mention being a dad and working late, waking up early here and there, whatever. I'm not here to complain. I'm just here to tell you that I'm already behind the sleep curve. I don't know how a lot of you do this, and I guess this is where I should pause in the video and say, I'm spelling all this stuff out. I know a lot of you do all this stuff. How do you do it? Is it just the commitment that I haven't been up to? I haven't been able to actually follow through with? Is it just on me? Is there really no excuse? Or do you have any tricks? If you do, please put them down below in the comment section. I would love to know how you get up early and fight the clock here. And there's also this. This is something else I need a little advice on. I feel like results are ruined for me. As soon as I know the results of a match, 2-1 Arsenal, if I know that, if I wake up, if I see it on my phone, I cannot go back and watch the entire recording, the 90-plus minute match. I cannot really go back and watch that. And by the way, I do love the fact that soccer matches are so efficient, 45-minute halves, some stoppage time, there's not a lot of fuss at halftime. They get right to it. I mean, honestly, in a sub 2-hour time frame, easily, you can digest a little pregame, the match, little post-match coverage in basically 2 hours, right? No baseball game, definitely no football game. Hockey games are about 2.5, 2:38 usually. And basketball games can be more efficient, but soccer is just, it's perfect. I shouldn't have a problem with this and the lack of ability to watch, but it's always a struggle. Anyway, going back to the results and the time shift. If I wake up and see a score, it's hard for me to go back and actually watch how it played out. It's difficult to avoid, like being on social in the morning or seeing highlights, or I guess I got to just wake up, put the phone away, and maybe that's my last point here. Avoid social media on these mornings. Don't wake up with the phone, right? Wake up, look at the phone, don't turn it on, don't click into it, don't look at social, pour some coffee, turn on the TV, and go. Maybe I fix my own problem, maybe. But the social part can ruin it. Knowing the score can ruin it. And then we get to this whole part here. Picking a club. Now, I said before, I don't want to just watch the entire league all season. I mean, that would be fun too, and maybe that's kind of a starter way into this. I feel I'd be more invested if I were to pick a club, really get ingrained with them, follow the course of their season. And again, this is the time to do it. Season's right around the corner. And I did already land on Chelsea like years ago, really decades ago. Right? Back to the Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba days, right? So and I don't have a ton of gear. Like, I'm still flexible. I got to tell you, I'm leaning that way, but I also realize this is like a British person saying, well, I like the New York Yankees, or I like the Boston Red Sox. This is like a Manchester, Man U, or an Arsenal, or a Chelsea thing. I should pick maybe a more, or less bandwagon-ish type team. Like, what British person says, I want to watch baseball and I want to follow the Cincinnati Reds, or hell, the Oakland A's. Some do, by the way. So maybe that's what I need some help here with too. I really want to go with Chelsea. They're interesting to me. I've been to Stamford Bridge before, so there's that. And I definitely enjoy the Wrexham story. I know they're several leagues below. That was fun to watch. I can't wait for the next season of that show, by the way. I guess I'm not opposed to picking a team from a different league, a different level, but it would just be so much easier to start right at the top with a Premier League team. Yeah, I don't want to be a front runner. I really don't. I don't want to be that type and, jump right into a sport and be a baseball fan and just, I picked the Yankees. Who wouldn't? I love basketball. I picked the Lakers. Who wouldn't? I don't necessarily want to be a front runner. So if you've got ideas for me, please put them down in the comments below. So a little bit of help right there, a little bit of help in all of this. I guess that's what I've been asking for in the course of this video. How do you guys and gals do this stuff? How do you follow this? How do you make it work? Because I've been saying I want to make it work, and I really do. And I just haven't been able to make it work. I'll leave you with this. One thought is that my son is actually going to start playing in a soccer league this upcoming season, and that might also get us up early on Saturday and or Sunday mornings inherently, but maybe I can make it a father-son type thing too. Maybe he'll get into that. Like, cartoons are fun, Netflix is fun. He doesn't watch a lot of TV, and maybe he wouldn't even want to sit through full soccer matches, but maybe we could make that our thing, early weekend mornings. Maybe that is the way into this. So let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Thumbs up on this video down below also, since you made it here to the very end. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel so that I can definitely see you back here next time.